I often think about what advice would I give my grandchildren when they're grown up and then they start having kids of their own, when they choose what to do in life, when they choose what to do for a profession and to support themselves and their family. The only thing I can keep thinking of over and over again, because by the time that they're grown up and achieving all that they're going to achieve as adults, I probably won't be here anymore. And I just think of the same thing over again, and that's don't settle. I've seen far too many people just settle for their lot in life. They get a job, they start a job as a kid, and they think that that's what they're going to be their whole lives. And then they suddenly wake up and they're 50 years old and they wonder, what in the world did I do? Well, I just fell into this. I fell into this niche. I fell into this trade. I fell into this job, and it's just all I ever know. And to them, I just say, don't settle. Just don't settle for what you think is the first thing that you fell into. Do something on purpose. Choose to go after something. Choose to find something that you're passionate about. Go after that you're passionate about. Do it good enough so that other people will take notice, and then you start standing out, and then you can get paid for doing what you love to do. There's no reason in the world to be miserable 8 hours a day, 40 hours a week, 52 weeks a year. It's a choice. Everything in this life is absolutely a choice. If you hate what you're doing, if you hate your job, if you hate where you live, if you hate the car you drive, if you hate the person you're with, if you hate everything about everything, those are all results of choices that you made. So when you start at the very beginning, before you've done any of those things, choose carefully. Choose wisely. Don't just let things happen to you. Things are going to happen to you enough out in the world that you can't control. The things that you can control, you should absolutely dominate those decisions and make them on purpose. On purpose, make a choice that you're going to not accept mediocrity. You're not going to accept what life would just have you take. The minimum wage job, the factory job, whatever it is that you just don't agree with. And just whatever you do, look at it long term. 5 years from now, 10 years from now, 15 years from now. What am I going to think if I'm still in this job? If I find myself in this job 20 years from now, am I going to be disappointed with myself? Because the motivation and the ambition and all that kind of stuff, it kind of wanes. It goes away. You lose it when you're getting up in your 20s and you start to become complacent with wherever you've achieved in life. So if you've not run hard, and I encourage you to, if you've not done all you can do, and I encourage you to, if you've not made the choices by the time that you're 25 or 30, that I encourage you to do before you get there, then later, as soon as you can, as soon as you come to the realization that there's better for you in life, and it all comes as a result of your choices, then suddenly, at that point, when you wake up and you realize you don't like what you've chosen up to this point, make a choice. Make a decision. Do something. Change it. Step out in faith. It's not going to be all crystal clear from the start. That's what this life is about. It's about adventure. It's about trying new things. It's about failing fast, failing young. I tell you, I lost 15 years of my life doing law enforcement. If I had continued to do the entrepreneur thing that I started doing when I was a kid, going door to door for the Olympic Sales Club, selling cards from door to door, if I had expanded on that passion for trying to give something to somebody else in an exchange for value, if I'd cultivated that salesmanship continually from the time I was 10 until the time I was 20, instead of going into law enforcement, it would have been a completely different life for me and my descendants to come. You know, generational wealth I could have passed on. But I made a wrong choice. And I encourage you, as soon as you can, make the choice that you can look long term and say, am I going to be fulfilled by making this choice? Is this something that I'm passionate about? Is this something that's going to be a long-term good decision for me? And as soon as you recognize that maybe you've made the wrong choice, don't just sit there and become complacent. If it takes you until 30 or 40 or 50 and you realize that you're miserable doing whatever it is you're doing, I just encourage you to stand up, have some courage, change everything, because you can. When we were created on this earth, we were created so that we could have the decisions to do whatever we wanted to do. We were created in God's likeness, but different from animals, because we can choose where we want to live. We can choose where we want to work. We can choose with whom we want to spend our lives. We can make those choices. And if we screw up, we can choose to do something different. So don't settle for your bad choices, because we all make them. Don't settle for staying in your problems, because we all have them. Make a choice as soon as you're courageous enough to realize that you've made a wrong one, and just do something different and keep trying something until you find that passion. until you find that thing that's right for you, until you find something that makes you want to jump out of bed in the morning and pursue it. And if you find yourself waking up every day and being thankful for what you've got, you know you chose right. I hope it helps. That's all I got to say about that.